Hey, good morning, everybody. Let's get started. This is Jeff Talbot. I'm the founder of Your Referral Generator, doing some incredible stuff with helping people use social media to build relationships, grow their business, generate referrals, make the world better. Hey, I am so excited to be with you guys today. Today, we're going to focus on showing you how you can just use just your Facebook profile, unpacking the system we have developed and tested and tried and proven to show you how you can actually get 3 times more business using just your Facebook profile. Don't have to buy any Facebook ads or hustle or cold call or anything like that. So super excited to be with you. I've been watching the comments fly in. Got some really interesting people from many different industries on the call today. I'm going to introduce also, we have Lenita DeVore helping us today. So Lenita, if you could just say hello. How are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Okay, very good. So we'll be getting you to help us with the questions and interacting with people in chat. Thank you so much. Right here, just so you guys don't freak out, this is a skeleton. I was going to move it. My wife is doing a still life drawing or figure drawing at the moment. And this Cal, who's named Cal, I was going to move it, but I thought, well, what the heck? Why not have a skeleton behind me doing a teaching just so you guys know to be on your best behavior today. So let's jump in right away. Now, in terms of style, I want to talk to you a little bit about how we're going to run this masterclass. This is a New Zealand accent. So I could try and speak in another accent. I've done some of that work before, actually. I could do a great Irish accent, but hopefully you can understand me just fine. Can you say you understand me? Say yes in chat if you understand this Kiwi accent just fine. Yes, yes, okay, good. All right, secondly, we're gonna cover a lot and we're gonna work for about 90 minutes today. We're gonna work really fast. And I don't apologize for that because this might be the only chance that I get to work with you. And I want to make the most of it. I want to give you as much value as possible. There's also a worksheet for you guys to take notes. If you haven't got it, just let me know in chat and Lenita will post a link to it or I'll post a link to it. So do you have the worksheet in front of you? Yes or no? Yes or no? Do you have the worksheet? No, 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 no. All right, Lenita, can you post a link to that? Have you got it there or do I need to do it? Let me know. I think I've got it. There we go. All right, so go ahead and download that if you can while I'm talking. I'll also give you my slides at the end of the call and tell you more about how we can work together helping you grow your business, if that's okay with you. The last thing I want to say about style is it's going to be, in case you hadn't guessed, kind of amusing, a little bit lively, and very interactive. So I'm going to ask you guys a bunch of questions. I don't want this to be a you sit and listen to this guy talk to you. We don't grow when we just listen. We grow when we interact. And so I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. I want you to answer them. I want you to take part. It's going to allow me to know you better so I can help you more. So that's one thing I would really want to do. So let's just get started. I want to know some quick questions about you. I'm going to use some time pressure from time to time to get you to answer. So let me know in the chat, how long have you been in your current business? Yes, Paul, lively with that skeleton. Okay, 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. What are you seeing there, Lenita? You're seeing pretty wide range, huh?
I'm seeing, yes, 20 plus years all the way down to just less than a year.
Okay. Well, the methods we unpack, 15, 20, 10, they'll work for any industry. So that's good. Now, on average, this is a tricky question for you in different industries sometimes, but on average, what is one referral worth to you? Like one great client. Pop that in chat. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, money-wise. Okay. All right, Lenita, what are we seeing here?
We're seeing $7,000, $4,000, $6,000, $10,000, $12,000. Oh, 15, impressive.
8 to 20, wow, yeah.
8 to 20, yeah.
Right, someone else, it means I'm doing a great job, but it has no value. Well, we want to turn that into a value so that it actually is a great job, but actually is more business for you, hopefully. Depending, I'd love to know what your business is there, Maria. So if you could just let us know, that would be great. 25,000 Bennett, right, wow. Okay, next question. What would 12 referrals roughly, you guys have got to do maths. Oh my goodness, math. I'm becoming like the skeleton here. Maths, what would basically 12 be worth to you? Just do it rough. We're not gonna test your maths. I've not got a calculator out for you. Okay, 100K. Wow. What else you got there, Lanita?
120,000, 140,000, 100,000, 96,000,
42,000, 108. Wow, it's amazing, huh?
50,000. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And so what we want to do today is we want to unpack a system that is in many cases proving to get people 12 referrals or more a year. So that's the amount of, when you use Facebook in a relational referral based way, different to probably how many of you are using it, there's a lot of return on investment for you guys. And I want to show you how you can get that today. So last question, I must have slipped an extra one in there. How many referrals did you get from Facebook in 2019? So let me know there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. What are you seeing, Lanita?
From 0 to a lot.
Right.
3 seems to be the average, 7, 12.
Yeah, 0, 0. Yeah. So it's a variety. So if you've got 12, I want you to think about doubling that number or tripling that, because you're already doing some things that are really, really good. Now, to explain, just so you understand, when we're talking about referrals, there are 3 types of referrals. Not going to get into a lot of depth here, but on the pathway on the left, that's referral pathway number 1, is represented by client referrals. So your clients refer you to other people. For those people who are just starting their career, whether it's real estate or something else, don't have many clients, this pathway is hard for you to get a lot of business from because you don't have mass. The pathway in the middle is the professional referral pathway. So if you're in real estate, it's a referral from another realtor out of state, another colleague, a broker, whatever it is, that pathway. Very competitive in a lot of industries, but that pathway. Now, the pathway on the right is represented by a rushing torrent, a massive river. And now that is what we call the brand ambassador pathway, or the word of mouth pathway, or the Facebook pathway, if you like. And simply put, in today's environment, people will refer you not because they've worked with you, not because they're professional, but because they really stinking love you and they're attached to your voice, your content, your brand. And this pathway has unlimited potential, and most people are not accessing it very well on Facebook. So most of you right now should have a worksheet in front of you. If you haven't got it, don't worry. I'm going to show it on the screen, but it should look something like this, right? And what I want to do is unpack our Facebook referral generation model and our system. Now, at the heart of it is you having the ability to generate large numbers of referrals just from your Facebook profile, having a system that does that. Because if you can do that, yes, you're going to make way more money, like 100K, 90K, 60K, if you just get 12 a year, depending on your market and your business. But by having a really simplified and simple way to lead gen, our businesses are complicated enough. Why have a complex marketing or sales system if we can do it really simply? You're going to have way more time. Time and money are closely linked. And then lastly, when you're gathering a sphere of influence of people around you on social media who you resonate with, who you love, you can really make a positive impact in people's lives. So we've created a system where you feel really good because you're making more money, it's freeing up your time, and you're making a really positive impact with authentically who you are. And for me, that's why I run my business as well. And for those of you who don't know me very well, this is my wife, Astalia, on the left, and me on the right. We shot the back of our heads because, you know, that's the best part of us, just joking. And these are our 2 children. And this is Amelie on the left and Gabriel on the right. And underneath is a bench. Now that bench in New Zealand is dedicated to my father. It's in the bottom of the South Island of New Zealand, and it overlooks a river that he used to play around when he was a child. Now, my children never got to meet their granddad. And so for us, why we want more money, more time, more freedom, is we want to travel through the country of my origin, and we want to be able to show our kids where their granddad was from. I want to sit on that bench. I never sat on that bench. I want to think about my dad. I want to tell my kids stories about where they grew up, right? And so by creating a flexible business that's referral orientated, that makes me lots of money, that frees up my time, that gives me the ability to have the life I want. Now, I want to know what you guys would do in your life if you had way more money, more free time, and we're making a positive impact in the world. So I'm going to give you just 20 seconds to say the first thing that comes into your head, the very first thing that comes into your head with what you would do if you had all those three things: more money, more time, or more impact. So pop that down in the chat. Go. I'll give you 20 seconds. I'm going to take a little drink while I'm waiting. All right, what have we got there, Lenita? Some really interesting answers.
We've got a lot of, would travel more, would play more, would travel more with family. I love this. Julie Nelson says more breathing space.
Right.
Paul would give more.
Right. Oh, and less stress, I see as well, Vincent. That's great. So ultimately, what we see, I think personally, is it gives us more choice. It gives us more freedom. It makes us more in control of our lives. And it's sad that it has to be this way, but it's also why many of us started our own businesses. We wanted the freedom. We wanted no ceiling on how much money we could make. We wanted to be the kings of our own time, right? And so that's what we're trying to work to get you towards as we go through this model. So how do you do this with Facebook? Now, grab your pens and start drawing in your worksheet if you can. The first thing you have to be able to do is you have to be able to attract all the kinds of people that are going to refer you. More and more people in your area who love your business, love you as a human being, who you want to have more and more of those people that you're connected to, advocates for you. Then you also want to be able to engage them really regularly on Facebook. And we're going to talk about how to do all this, so don't worry too much. You need to be able to attract, engage, and then you need to be able to inspire them to refer you. It's not enough just to attract them and to engage them. You have to call them to action. You have to inspire them to help you. And we're going to look at that. The truth is, if you're not able to attract enough people, then not enough people know how good you are as a coach, as a realtor, as a photographer, as a chef. And that's a problem we can solve. Maybe that's your biggest problem right now. Simply not enough people just know what a stellar human being you are and how good you are at your job. If more people knew about me, my business would be fine. That's the kind of inner thought that you say. But if you're not able to engage them, even though you might have a large number of people who know about you, then you're literally wasting marketing time and you're leaking referrals. If you're not engaging people, staying top of mind on a place like Facebook, which, is connecting to people on their phones, in their living rooms, you have this ability to be immediate and engaging with them. So you want to be able to do that. And then the last thing, if you're not able to inspire people, then not enough people are going to refer you, and you're not going to get that money, time, and impact that you need. So in our system for generating referrals, there are really 9 steps to build out with Facebook to get you to where you want to be. Number 1, you got to be able to identify who belongs in my brand. Who are my people? Who are most likely to be my referral partners? Then you need to be able to find them, go and get them on Facebook. And then you need to be able to welcome them in and make them part of your brand. Then we need to have a brand that really provides food for these people that resonate with you. And then we need to have a strategy to take them, get their attention, engage them, and nurture them. And then we also need to have great content. Many of us, we struggle a lot with content. We'll talk about that today quite a bit. And then you need to be able to make it real. How can you make the relationships really real? If you're just jumping on and you're struggling to keep up, don't worry. I'm going to send out the replay and you're going to get my notes at the end of the call. And then you need to be able to do it in a scalable way, because we don't want you working one-to-one all the time. If you can work one-to-many, if you can have one solid relationship that leads to 10, 12, 15 referrals, that's better, right? And then lastly, we want a partnership. So we want to, when we get in front of people, when we meet them, we want to have a method in play that inspires them to refer us. Does that make sense to everybody on the call? Just let me know yes if it makes sense, no if it doesn't, or that's interesting. Just let me know. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Yes, 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 yes with an exclamation mark. Yes, 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 yes. Good stuff. Jamie, Diane, thank you. I'll try and get to everybody on the call as we go. So what we want to do now, though, is we want to just high level for you guys. Imagine if you were connected to 5,000 people on your Facebook profile who all thought you were incredible at your job and who lived relatively locally. If whenever they said, hey, I need a photographer, I need a coach, someone says, I need a photographer, a coach, I need a chef, I need a realtor, I need someone to help me with my mortgage. If 5,000 people in your community, whenever that conversation came up, said, Vincent, Cecilia, Debbie, Danielle, like if your name was the first one they mentioned, how would that change your business? Really curious as to know. Would it make a big difference? What would it give you more money, more time, and more freedom, do you think? Let me know. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. Absolutely. It would give me more business. Yes. Lots of freedom. Yes. 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 And that's the potential you have with your Facebook profile, just your profile. But because the way we're wired, rather than build a presence, establish relationships, do something remarkable in one place, we tend to just scattergun our marketing everywhere, and we use up all our time and all our energy, and we're hoping that people will give us what we need rather than building something. And that's what we're going to look at today. So coming back to this model, this is the most intense part of the training, and I'm going to do some teaching, but I want to see where you're at. I'm going to ask you some questions here, and I'm going to ask you to traffic light how well you're currently doing with Facebook in particular. So you're going to tell me red, I'm doing terribly, orange, okay, or green, I'm absolutely killing it. So red, bad, orange, okay, green, awesome, right? So what you're going to do in chat is you're going to put down red, orange, or green. So number one, identifying exactly who your ideal referral partner is. Do you know exactly who is the type of person who's most likely to refer you according to occupation, location, personality type, values, passions, and hobbies? Can you tell me, are you orange, red, or green? Let's go. What are we seeing here, Lanita? I think we might be seeing a bunch of oranges by the looks of things. Orange, orange, some reds, some greens, lots of oranges. So we're going to go orange here. What's orange? Orange means I got some idea. Good question, Maria. But it could be way clearer. So seeing lots of oranges, right? Anita? Lanita?
Yes, lots of oranges.
Yes. All right. Now, supposing you did know exactly who you wanted to build relationship with. You're like, if I knew 300 more of these people or 200 more, that would be awesome. Like if I had 200 more people who were builders in this neighborhood, that'd be great. Could you go out there and find them in 30 minutes on Facebook? Red, no idea where to look. Orange, I got some ideas. Green, no idea. What do you think? Okay, Christine, red, bad, orange, okay, green, good. Orange, orange, red, 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 orange, red, green. Okay, some people have some ideas. We're going to go for a red here. So this is an average or just like best approximation of where I think people are at. But seeing a lot of oranges come in right now, which is great. So it might be more of an orange, but we'll leave it where it is. Now, if 200 people came in, your ideal referral partners, sent you a friend request, and were your friends right now on Facebook, would you be able to process those relationships, welcome them in, turn them into referral partners really quickly? Because new people are very excited and they're a great source of business. Or would you be completely overwhelmed? Red, I'd be overwhelmed. Orange, I think I'd cope. Green, I know exactly what to do. I have a system at place that would help me. Okay. Orange, 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 green, orange, orange, red, red, orange. Okay, so it looks like orange. I'm just going to rush through this a little bit, Lanita.
Okay.
Because I can see it. So you might want to turn your microphone off. I'm getting a little bit of noise there. 4, do you have a defined Facebook brand? Could I look at your Facebook and say to my friends, you've got to follow Sammy, you've got to follow Danielle, you've got to follow Diane or Daniela or Hildegard. You've got to follow them because, and could I tell people in one sentence, the value they would get from following you outside of your work, a human value, a reason, man, there's so much hope there. So what are we there? Are we red? It'd be very hard to say, and my Facebook's all over the place. Orange, there's some brand there. Green, people could say exactly what they're going to get from me. In fact, they're already telling me, hey, your Facebook's amazing because. What are you there? Red, green, orange, 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 red, 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 orange. Lots of oranges, lots of reds, Okay, we'll go for it. 5, strategy, right? Strategy. So do you have an engagement strategy? Do you know the purpose relationally of every single post that you make? Hey, this one's for getting attention. This one's for creating resonance. This one is for building relationship to get the relationship offline. Do you have a clear strategy about what you post every single day of the week? Red, no idea. It's hit or miss. Orange, sometimes I know. Green, I totally got it. This is totally working for me. Where are you? Red, green, green, red, red, orange, red, 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 orange, red, orange, red. Okay, so we're gonna go red. 5, content. 6, content. Really important. You can know everything about everything, but is your content the kind of stuff that people are loving? Is it the stuff that even Cal puts her hand up and says, I like this. This is awesome. I want to come alive, even though I'm a plasticine skeleton. My wife is figure drawing this if you just jumped on the call, so don't be freaked out by me. So in terms of your content and how good it is, 0 to 20, if you look at your last 10 posts and on average, you get between 0 to 20 interactions, likes, shares, comments. Red, that's too low. 20 to 100, orange. 100 plus, if I looked at your last 10 posts, 8 to 10 of them would have 100 plus comments or shares or likes. What would you be? Would you be red, orange, or green? Red, orange, orange, Daniela, orange, Gian, orange, red, red, Paul, yep, red, Julie, red. Okay, orange. Okay, cool. So we're sitting at orange. There's a lot of oranges. Hildegard, great. So what we're wanting to do is when we break things down like this, we can actually fix problems. And that's what we're going to work on today. Now, in terms of inspiring referrals, pardon me, when you look at, are you taking relationships from Facebook and making them real in real life, phone calls, coffee dates, stuff like that? If I were to look at your phone records or your Facebook records, don't worry, I'm not going to, but if I was to do that, would you be able to tell me, hey, I've taken maybe 2 conversations from Facebook or less in the last month off Facebook. Like I've met people that I haven't met before on Facebook, taking the relationship offline. If it's less than 2, you're red. If it's between 2 and 10, you're orange. If you've consistently taken relationships from Facebook and meeting people in real life, then you're really making it real, and I'm gonna give you a green. So are you red, orange, or green? Green, that's great, Jamie, awesome. Orange, red, orange, red, orange. So you sort of 2 to 10 orange. Yep, everyone understand the question? Red, 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 red. Okay, yes, good. All right, getting there, guys, getting there. You're seeing our little diagram here, and we'll move on shortly. In terms of scalability, are you just working one-to-one, or are you having one-to-many conversations from Facebook? Key to this is, are you running events? If you ran no events in the last 12 months from Facebook to get asking people from your Facebook sphere to meet you in person all at once using a Facebook event, if you've done none, you're red. If you've done 0 to 3 in the last 12 months, you're orange. If you've done 4 or more, you are green. So what are you here? Red, green, great. Yeah, a webinar would be a thing too. Julie, great. That's awesome. Red, red, orange, green, 20 events. Slow Jamie, you're killing it. Orange, red, Sammy, orange. Okay, great. So we're looking around red to orange here, but we'll go for red. Lastly, and this is really a personal question, we can get you in front of all the people that you possibly would need to get in front of. But when you get in front of them, how good are you at inspiring that person to refer you? Like when people get in front of you, do they really like you? Do they want to help you? Do you just maybe need a tweak? If you're really good at that, you're green. If you think you're okay at it, you're orange. If no one ever refers you, you're a red. So just let me know there. Go ahead now. Green, orange, red. Orange, green, green, green. Lots of greens, a few oranges, a couple of reds, oranges, oranges, oranges. Sometimes it's red because you're connecting with the wrong people. You've got a bunch of clients that you don't really resonate with because you're doing other sorts of lead gen, not working by referral, and you're working with people that just aren't your people. And that's something we have to shift you away from. But I think, I'm going to give you guys a green here. So this is the model. Now, I would love to unpack all of it for you today. But what I want to do is I want to focus on 3 main areas today. So we want to focus on Let me see why my computer is freezing up here a little bit. We want to focus on identifying who belongs in your brand, because these are the areas, the three that I've chosen that we're going to focus on are the three areas that I think will make the biggest difference for you today in the masterclass. So when you really know who belongs in your brand, you can go and find them and welcome them. Secondly, we want to focus on content, because you're already connected to so many wonderful people that we want to engage them now and see if we can nurture those relationships. And then I want to talk about scalability, getting relationships offline, one-to-many. These three things make a massive difference for your life. Now, all 9 steps are really important if you want to absolutely kill it with Facebook and get those 12 plus extra referrals. But these 3 make the biggest difference. So let me stop for a second, slow down, because I'm talking fast, and just ask you guys, what's the most interesting thing for you so far? What's been the most helpful? So let me know in chat. Give you sort of 20 seconds, put down what the most helpful thing is for you. So pop that into chat. Okay, great. Lanita, what are you seeing here?
I'm seeing scalability, overview to see where I am, reminder to inspire people, identifying prospects. People are interested in scaling this model.
Right. Really important. Yeah, I also see idea of Facebook events in person, right? Exactly. Like getting relationships offline is really important. So we're going to share a bunch of strategies and success stories. So let's roll up our sleeves, metaphorically, or maybe even literally, and do some work today as we go through. So remember, the first thing we were going to talk about was attract. That's the first circle. And there are 3 parts: identify, find, and welcome. And they're all really important. So basically, when we're talking about attract, what we're wanting to know is your Facebook sphere, is your sphere of influence. And really, you need to get everybody in one place. And Facebook should be the home of your relational management on social media, your Facebook profile. Absolutely should be. It's where the dollars are and where most people are still. It's the home. You can have those other sites and social media channels, but they want to feed into one place because you can't manage multiple places without going crazy. So if we were to think about your growth of your Facebook channel, how is it growing right now? So just let me know, is it static? Like, have your Facebook friend numbers stayed pretty much the same? Or is it growing but pretty rare? So let me know in chat as we go through this, just let me know. Is it sporadic? Like sometimes it grows, sometimes it doesn't. Is there like a trickle of people coming in, that your numbers are growing or new people are coming in? Seeing a lot of rares here, a trickle for some people, right? Sporadic, right? And all that really isn't quite where you want to be. What you want is consistent growth. You consistently getting to know more and more people with Facebook. That's where you really, really win. And so that's what we're going to look at as we go through here. You've got your worksheet here. So we're going to talk a little bit about find and welcome. Just tell you a couple of stories. We're going to focus on identify. And we're going to look at sort of 3 things that you might want to change as we go. Grown by 2.5 times consistently over the last 6 months. That's brilliant, Portia. That's what we want. So when it comes to finding people, you know who you're after. How do you go and find them, and why is it important, and what happens when you do it? So I want to introduce you guys to Jay Andrew, who's a case study member in our training. And Jay had this big problem, is that he's a very successful realtor in North Carolina and South Carolina, but he doesn't live there anymore. In August 2018, he flew across the country with his partner and moved to St. Louis Obispo on the Pacific coast. And in that town, he knew 2 people, and he tells me that 1 in 5 people there seem to have a real estate license. So successful realtor doesn't know anybody. Really important that he figures out how to find more people. And so we've been working together for about 4 weeks or so, not much more. And Jay has added hundreds of people from St. Louis Obispo to his Facebook sphere. Better than that, he has 74 two-way conversations going, like backwards and forwards, people talking to him right now. Better than that, he's met up offline in real life with 28 people that he didn't know before. So he's solving that problem of not enough people know how good I am as a realtor because I'm new to this town. So when you can do that, you can really start to kill it, which is awesome. Now, when it comes to that second point of welcoming people, what you have to understand is that new people have an energy. A new Facebook friend is curious. They come to your page. They want to know who you are. Why'd you send me a friend request? What do you do? Oh, your content's great. So there's a lot of energy there, more energy to create a referral partner or a new business client from a new person than perhaps from someone who's old, tired, bored with you and knows all your flaws, right? So new people, really important to build relationship with them. Now, someone who's done this really well recently for us is Judy Welsh. Now, she's bivocational, works in Arizona, and really only did 6 transactions. She doesn't mind me saying this, as a realtor, did 6 transactions in 2019. Not enough for her to quit her job, and that was a problem for her. And she's also done lots of other forms of training and lead gen that didn't really sit with her. And so we did one 7-day sprint with her, which is something we do with case study members. And she got 3 clients in 5 days. That's $25,000 in commission income. 3 clients in 5 days by going out and welcoming the right new people into her brand, people that she knew belonged, and she just did it, and she didn't get distracted. She worked relationally. So that's what's possible. Really, really powerful stuff. So let's now do a little bit of teaching on identifying. Talk briefly about finding and welcoming people, but you got to identify them first, right? And so you got your worksheet here. And what I want to look at is 3 key points or 3 principles that are really important for you guys. And please ask me any questions. Lanita will keep track of it as we go, and we'll go from there. So the first point is choose your friends or they will choose you. And this is a big problem for most people that come into our training programs, is they have a sphere of influence full of people that they didn't really choose. And most of us are afraid. Like I'll say to people, who do you want to work with? Like, I work with anybody. I love people. Well, that's not quite true. You don't love everybody. There's people that you do not love, and I could name a few, but I want to keep the conversation decent today, all right? And so the question I want to ask you guys today is, if I gave you a free holiday to Cabo, perhaps, and I told you you had to choose 10 friends, let me know if this is you. Would you be, and it's for 7 days, and you're going to be sharing like a massive big house, right? So you can't avoid each other. Would you invite the first 10 people that said yes? Or would you deliberately choose 10 people who you thought would have an incredible time? Which would you do? Would you invite the first 10, or would you choose people that were deliberate? Right. Incredible time. Right. Yes, Jay. Right. 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 I would choose, Diane. Choose. And so we make these choices all the time. And yet when it comes to our business or choosing referral partners or a Facebook sphere, we don't make the kind of choices that are really helpful for us. And so this diagram here will emphasize a little bit about how people often create their Facebook friend list. So this is passive sphere building here. We're very passive. Most of our acceptance on Facebook for a lot of people, I would say 90% of people we work with, their biggest question to me is, should I accept this friend request from people? It's the wrong question. It's a passive question. Really, the question is, who should I friend request? A more active choice in who belongs in your sphere, who belongs at your dinner table. So I've got Cal here because it doesn't cause any problems, right? Love him. But you need to choose exactly who belongs at your dinner table. It should really be this way around, okay? You choose the majority and some of them choose you. So I want you guys to think about, who should I be looking to outreach to on Facebook? I shouldn't be the passive one deciding whether I accept this friend request or not. That shouldn't be the biggest question I ask when it comes to growing my sphere. Does that make sense? Let me know if it makes sense to you. If you have any questions, pop them in chat. All right. Change your friends, change your life. I remember my brother telling me, my older brother, is 7 years older than me, when I was going through a rough time as a kid, he said to me, if you want to change your life, you need to change your friends. And I was like, wow, he's right. These people I'm hanging out with aren't very good to me. They're kind of bullies, actually. They kind of don't respect me. I need to change my friends if I want to change my life. Well, conversely, if you want to change or grow your business, you probably need to change your sphere. You probably need to change the people that you're connected to on Facebook. have more of a certain type of person and less of another sort. Might be you're connected to too many people who are professionals just like you. You're literally connected to people who will never refer you and who will never use you. Or you need to be connected more local. Might be that, right? Does that make sense? Good. Second key point. Your Facebook friends list should be full of ideal clients and referral partners. Should be full. And often, if we're honest, it's like 2 or 3%, right? Okay, Jay's got a question there, Lanita. If you could grab that and keep it till the end, that would be great. Okay. Thank you. Really, your ideal clients, I want you to think about now, 3 people that you really loved working with. Can you guys do that? Can you think of 3 people you really, really loved working with? I'd love to know who they are. So just keep an eye on that, okay? 3 people that you really love working with. Now, why was there resonance? What was it about them? Because we want more of those people. You connect with more. Why was there resonance, right? They're offering you clues. They're offering you clues as to who should be in your sphere, who your business should be for, what your brand should be, because you just want more of those people. I bet you've said, oh my God, if every person I work with was like Steve or like Joanna or like Portia or like Rose, you'd be like, my business would be awesome. Like they're fun. Christine just put down they're fun, right? That's a value. I need more fun people. I don't want to work with people who have no sense of humor. We can use your Facebook presence to attract people who are fun and remove people who are not. You want to build your sphere around these people. And so if we were to survey you, and we haven't got time to go into this in a huge amount of depth, but if we were to survey you today and ask you, when you think of your ideal clients, what location do they all tend to be from? Was there a location they're all from? Yes or no, maybe. Was there an occupation, or were they all professionals? Were they all blue collar? Were they all teachers? Or were a lot of them, like, they were starting to like figure out trends and using intuition, right? So that's what you want to start to think about. Location mostly. There's a location that you really love to work in. Well, let's, Vincent, build a sphere of influence around people who live in that location. Right. Values. Do they all have a certain type of value? Wow. Like I really love people who are fun. Like, that's a value to me, Christine. You know, so that might be something that you start to look for. Do they all share a passion that you share? Do they all love the great outdoors? Do they all love dogs? Like, what is their passion, right? And then lastly, like life. Were they all mums? A lot of them mums. Were they all local business owners? They're not all going to be one thing, but we want to start getting an idea as to who belongs in our brand based on location, occupation, values, passion, and life. Life includes things like are they an immigrant like me, right? I'm from New Zealand, so I would naturally connect well with other New Zealanders. It includes things like LGBTQ or any other kind of thing, like life stage, that sort of thing. We want to get really specific. And one of the things I want you to know is that you know the truth often by the way it feels. And so when you think about who you really love working with, who really connects with you, yes, there are these like demographic factors, but you're going to identify them and then work back to the demographic by going, man, I really love working with that person. What was it? And often for me, it's sense of humor or entrepreneurship, right? And you'll have your own things too, but I want you to trust your intuition. Yes, we've built out a system that allows you to absolutely kill it with Facebook. But at the basis of that system is this idea that it trains your intuition, because intuition is a shortcut to really quick results, right? If I were to ask you, like, there's 10 people who could be possible referral partners for you right now, you could go through your list and do all the demographics. Or as a shortcut, you could go, oh my goodness, this person I get on real well. I'm going to go after that one, that one, that one, that one. Like using the way it feels can be a really, really fast shortcut. Thirdly, third key point when it comes to identifying your ideal clients, there is power in the intersection, right? And that's where we want to really start to work. Now, I'll explain what I mean by the intersection here. But often when it comes to our marketing or our sphere building, we use a scattergun approach. And it's kind of like this. We connect with this person, this person, this person, this person. This person's in that location, I'll add them. This person has these values, I'll add them, even though they live in China. This person goes to my church, even though we don't share the same values perhaps or same passions. And we don't really have a strategic approach. We just scattering things out and adding people out of hope. Well, let's look at what I mean by power in the intersection and use an actual example. So perhaps one group of people you want to add to your sphere are people, in your sphere I mean Facebook friends list, people who work in one particular occupation because your area is rich in this occupation, right? Rich in these kinds of people that are absolutely loaded or that you just love working with, whatever it is. So there's that. And then perhaps there's a certain life stage or life quality of people that you really love working with. As an example, perhaps an occupation you've always really loved working with are local business owners, great referral partners because they see so many people. And perhaps for life, you really enjoy working with young moms, like because you're a young mom, hopefully. It's not because you're an old man. That would be strange, most likely, but could be fine too. But that's like, look, I love working with young moms and I love working with local business owners. Well, what we want to do is figure out where are the local business owners who are young moms. They're totally going to get you. You're going to resonate with them hugely. You're going to be able to help them a bunch, and they're going to have power over other young moms and other local business owners that you want to work with. So that's the intersection that we want to go over. Now, every business has large intersections. Now, you could choose 5 niches. Like I'm after like people in 5 different areas. People who have these values, people who have these passions, this occupation, etc. It's kind of like an Olympic structure, and you want to go where the intersections are. So you don't want to just choose people who have the same faith because that's pretty wide often. It would have to be really specific in this structure. So you want to work in the intersections, and obviously where there are more intersections, there's more resonance and more power. And we have like the quad structure where there are 4 niches that you're choosing. Hey, I want to work with these 4 people. And then there's the sort of triangular approach, and then the dual approach. And then there's really the single approach. And to be honest, I've seen all of these work really well when people are making a choice as to who belongs in their sphere. Even a single sphere. I once worked with a gentleman who was a pastor of a local church and a real estate agent. He just took care of all those people in his church. It was like 400, 500 people, really took care of them, really loved on them. And he also helped them out with their real estate needs. Did like 80 transactions a year. One sphere of influence, one group of people making a massive impact in his life and in their lives and working really well. And so we do want to get it as simple as possible. And so don't have a scarcity mindset when it comes to making choices. Choose no more than 5 niches. More than 5 is too much for the human brain and we get scattered. Make sure that it makes physical sense. An example I use is don't choose ventriloquists in Austin. There's just not enough of them, right? So you want to make sure and only add people in the intersections, right? So really go for intersections. It's really, really important here. So one of the things and one of the reasons we need to make a choice is if we try and create a presence online that appeals to everybody, guess what? We'll appeal to nobody. And I like to say a brand without values is valueless because it's not creating resonance and attachment and people feeling like they belong because it's trying to appeal to everybody. If something tries to appeal to everybody, no one really feels special. So I would love to know, just as I'm going, what's really appealing to you the most? I do want to share quickly this story of Kirstine because she just is doing an incredible job. So she started as a case study with us, I think at the start of the year, just before the start of the year, perhaps. Now for her, you can see she's with her baby there, Lincoln. Now Lincoln has been born with a congenital heart problem. He's gonna be okay, but he has lots and lots of treatment and stuff like that. So for her, she and her husband, she's the main provider as well. She's a realtor in Texas. Her biggest challenge is like, how do I have time to provide for my family and take care of my son? It's take care of Lincoln. It's a really big problem. And so we talked with her. She came to a class like this, and then she decided she wanted to work together more, and which was great. And she wanted to make sure, though, that she had enough time. And part of us using Facebook in this way is to simplify things for people like her. Now, she has got, within 2 months, 6 referral transactions worth $79,500 in gross commission. So it's making a massive difference for her. She's using her story of her son, the journey, all authentically without manipulating. She's connecting with other moms who have babies with heart problems or health problems and helping them. It's been incredible to watch her turn this challenge into something that can generate ongoing relationships. But she's got real specific. She could tell you right now exactly who I'm trying to add to my sphere of influence. She's 100% green light all the way around the attract model, which is exactly what you want to do. So we talked a lot about identify, a little bit about find and welcome, shared some success stories. What I'm curious about right now are what are 3 things, I want you to put them on your worksheet, 3 things that you think you need to change right now about how you're attracting people to Facebook. Right here, see, change 1, change 2, change 3. Because we don't make changes, again, we just listen to Jeff talk and there's no real value. Now, here's some possible things that you might want to change. So read through the list, come up with your own things, and then put them in the chat box and write them. Put 1 at least in the chat box and write your other 2 on the worksheet. So is it you want to be less passive and more active in choosing your sphere? You want to build my sphere for my business. I want to focus on referral partners and not transaction. I need to figure out who belongs in my brand. I need to focus on growing my relationships. I need to stop trying to appeal to everybody. I need to clean up my friends list. I need to become more niche focused. I need to have a welcoming strategy. So I'm going to give you 20 seconds to pop that down in the chat box. So go ahead. And Lanita, as they come in, if you could read them out, that'd be great.
All right, referral partners. Focus on referral partners and smile more.
Yeah, that's awesome too. I agree. Like that gift and see, Brian, I know that sounds like I'm sure it's really genuine for you. I have a rock which has smile on it in my pocket and it reminds me to smile too. So I use that rock. Totally agree with you. And maybe how can you smile on Facebook? How can you be that kind of influence, right? Really important.
Build my sphere. Decide who belongs in my brand. Clean up my friends list. Have a welcome strategy. That's great. More active. Focus on referral partners again. Focus on growing relationships. Become more niche focused,
Right.
relational based.
Awesome, guys. That's really good. Oh, less passive, more active. I think that's huge for me in life in general, right? Whenever I find myself like in a position of hoping and kind of powerless, like I hope this person will get back to me, I've done something wrong in the relationship process. I've put myself in a passive position. Doesn't mean that you should be controlling the relationship. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you want to always have that next step mapped out where you have some power. All right, what's this one here I see come in, Lanita?
It says, I started this career as I felt I could connect easily with people, and now I feel like I'm overdoing it and ruining some relationships. Does this make sense?
Huh. You mean you're connecting with so many people? Or if you could explain what you mean by how are you ruining it and how are you overdoing it? I'd love to know more about that. And maybe we'll deal with that in the questions at the end. I love that you not connecting enough. Oh, okay. All right. You're not connecting enough. How's that overdoing it? I'm a little confused. Rewrite your question a little bit. It's really a good question. And I want to deal with it. And we'll talk about it at the end so we can keep our trajectory through the training. Thank you so much, Maria. That's a really good and interesting thing to explore. All right. So again, look at attract. Now we're going to look at engage and we're going to focus on content. And this is where it's really fun, guys. Now there are 3 parts to engaging people. You want to have a brand that everybody knows exactly what they're going to get from you. They can describe it to their friends, tell other people to follow you. It doesn't matter what social media channel you're on. This is important. You want to feed those people who really belong. You don't want to appeal to everybody. And you want to have a strategy that, every post has a reason from a point of view of engagement. We're going to talk about that. And then you want to have really great content, and we're going to really focus on content a lot. And so you got this part of the worksheet here, so you can turn that over. Now, I want to ask you guys, when it comes to your engagement on Facebook, do you feel like it's a pretty lonely place? Not many people are engaging you, or the same people are regularly engaging you? Or do you feel like strangers are coming in and engaging on your content and everyone's talking about what you're doing and you're a rock star? So where are you on this? Are you lonely? Okay, Rose says same people. Lonely, honest, right? Honest, I used to be lonely too. I had until I started implementing my own strategies, I was very lonely. Lonely, doesn't feel comfortable talking about myself. We'll talk about that, Debbie. You don't have to talk about yourself if you don't want to. Same people, so pretty familiar. Same people, yep. Familiar, a lot of familiar. Well, really we start to win when we move towards rockstar, and we actually have to start having to do a lot less work when our content is really self-perpetuating. I post and the only same few respond, Sammy. That's a really typical story. So we can just get you out of that really quickly. So I'm going to talk really briefly about brand and just share a story. It's really important that you have a lens to put your content through that appeals to the kinds of people you want to appeal to. Someone who did a great job of establishing her brand is Jennifer Egbert, and she's a realtor in Boulder, Colorado, makes like $40 to $60 million a year in production, is a member of our training. But for her, the decision about brand actually came well before she worked with us. So she wasn't always making that money. She was, struggling somewhat, and not as much as she is, obviously not doing as well as she is now. And she decided, like, my brand and what I love is I love modern architecture, modern in Boulder, Colorado, and I'm progressive. Like she really clearly defined exactly who she was, and she's built a brand around that. And so everybody knows her as a modern luxury specialist in Boulder. In fact, she speaks at real estate conferences about niching down, all that sort of stuff, as far as I know. And she took her business like through the roof. And it's really easy for her because she has clear guidelines as to who she is. So creating a content strategy and creating content when you know this is what I love and this is who I want to appeal to becomes super simple. So we want to do that. In terms of strategy, you really do want to know, and we'll talk a bit about strategy in the content section, they're kind of meshed together, but you really do want to know, what's my strategy? Like, what am I doing here? Am I just putting this out there and hoping again in a passive way? That's not good, guys. That's really, really not what you want to do. So Jeremy, he signed up for our training a while back, and what Jeremy knew intuitively again was he knew like, oh, I'm connected to like 1,500 local people. I grew up in Pittsburgh. And I know the things they care about, and they care about kids, and I used to work as a teacher, and so he posted some content strategically that he knew would appeal to the people that live locally. And he got massive response, like 200 comments in his first week of our training plus on each post. And he actually got 3 referral transactions in the first 7 to 10 days, worth again $25K for him in commission in his first 10 days. So when he really started, strategically thinking about what will appeal to my people, he did really, really well. So I see your comment there, Brian. You like to engage more people. I think being myself is a key to getting them to engage more. I totally agree. Your voice matters, Brian. And let's talk about this a little bit when we get to content. So content is king, really. It's the food that you feed people that attracts them or repels them, and both are actually not too bad. The first thing I want to tell you guys, though, when it comes to your Facebook presence, is master a medium. Absolutely master one medium. And we'll talk about 4 possible mediums, 4, in a second. I want to talk to you firstly, though, about the man who thought he could. I once had a conversation with a gentleman who was also in real estate, like many of you. And I had a conversation with him on the phone, and he said to me, oh, I do a lot of video. My videos are awesome. I went to a real estate conference, and they said, you got to be on video. And I'm putting these videos out. They're great. Can I share them with you? I said, I want to see this guy's videos because they're so good. I really thought they were great. And then I watched his video, and it was not great. It was not good at all. In fact, if 100 people saw his videos, 100 people would not have a favorable impression of his brand. He was a long way back from the camera. He was really poorly dressed for a large gentleman. I couldn't hear him properly. He had no structure to his video, no brand established. He thought he was doing a great job because he was doing what he had been told. That he was choosing the wrong medium for him right now. Could he, with all the natural elements that he has as a human being, get great at video? Probably. But right now, he was awkward. He didn't come across as professional. He didn't come across as relational. He didn't come across with a fabulous personality. So it was actually detrimental to his brand. And so when it comes to you choosing a medium, it's important because we want people to say, you got to follow Julie on Facebook. Her such and suches are incredible. You want to follow Sammy. His posts on this are incredible. Part of having a brand on Facebook is choosing and mastering a medium. Now, these are the 4 mediums I want you to think about. You can be really well known for great videos. You can be known for telling incredible stories. You can be known because your photography and your photos are out of this world, beautiful, insightful, whatever it is. We work way more on that in our main training. Or you can be known for simply asking incredible questions. So the person who said, I can't remember who it was, I don't like to talk about myself. I ask a lot of questions on Facebook, and other people talk about themselves. And yeah, sure, I have to talk about myself sometimes. It's important. But you don't necessarily have to talk a lot about yourself to succeed. It's a social channel. It's a two-way relationship. You're building relationships. So of those 4 mediums, which one do you guys think you would love to master the most? So let me know in chat. I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. I'm a terrible singer. Stories, all questions, right? Okay, stories, photos, great, questions, photos and questions, photos. Now, writing and photos. Well, writing, you're going to tell stories, I guess. Storyteller, photos, great, right? And so this is incredible. And not a lot of people choosing video. That's fine. And if you really want to make master video, really get really good at it. It's not about being professional. It's about being compelling and being a storyteller as well. Now, you can do all 4, but let's master one first. It's going to pay off big time. Jennifer Preddy, who does $40 or $50 million worth of production, she's killing it with questions. That's all she does. She doesn't have time to write stories or do lots of lovely little photos, but she's going around her area. People are saying, I love your questions, man. What are you doing? Are you creating a show? Like, your questions are incredible. So she's getting a reputation for that already. Jennifer Preddy, I just shared her case study with you guys. So you want to choose a medium. Now, when it comes to building authority with your content, the temptation is to think, because I've worked with enough people in many industries, I don't know enough to create a compelling presence. I'm not an expert enough in anything, but here's the thing. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. So all you need to know is a little bit more than everybody else. And you need, if you speak with authority, like parenting, right? I could talk about how to stay calm around kids when you're busy with work a lot, because I fail a lot and I succeed sometimes. And I could create huge resonance with that, right? Because I know enough to talk about it. Could I create a great Facebook feed about embroidery and black work? No, it would be laughable, but you know enough to make a big difference. All right, point 2, goals that you can control. Now, I'm just going to do a time check here and keep us moving. Okay, we're doing okay. Goals that you can control. Really important that you have goals that you can control with engagement. Here's the thing that most people get wrong about engagement. I don't want to contradict myself. This is me and my wife, Athalia. Now, she gets home in a couple of hours, and I'm like waiting at the door, and I'm like saying little fast jokes, practicing pickup lines, trying to get her attention, winking at her, doing all like really stupid stuff that maybe worked when we first met. She will like probably slap me, dress me down, tell me to go away. And one of the biggest mistakes that people make on Facebook and social media is when they think about engagement, all they think about is attention. All they think about, attention. How many likes did I get? How many comments did I get? Now, attention is important. It's critical. You can't engage me if I'm not present. I need to be looking at you for you to engage me. Really important that you get attention, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that you're creating resonance and that you're building relationships and a sense of community around your brand. And so when we think about our content, not all content is equal. We need attention-grabbing content, and we also need resonant-creating content, and we also need to put you in a place of control. So when people work with us in our training, what we look at are these kinds of metrics that you have control over. Honestly, you don't have control right now around the transaction, as many transactions as you want. You can't go and get 6 transactions right now, most likely. There's too many decisions that other people make. And so if you're in an industry like real estate, it's kind of a roller coaster. because you get paid, 12, 20, 30, 50 times a year, right? So you only have a few paydays. So you can feel pretty low the other times if you're judging yourself on your bank balance. But there are things you can do every day to grow your business. Right at the bottom of this pyramid here, you can see Facebook sphere. How many people you're connected to and how many of them live in your hometown or your area. You have control over that. You can grow that every day. You can create compelling content and boost the number of your people that are hearing from you and engaging with you every day. You have power as we work up this pyramid to have messenger conversations, one-to-one conversations with people every day. You have power to take conversations from Messenger and meet with people in real life. You have power in real life to engage people, to ask them for help, to help them to build referral type relationships. If you do all these things, you have the right goals, then you really start to win with Facebook. But you have to remember that the relationship is always more important than the transaction. And when you put relationships first, you can easily work up this pyramid really, really well. And many people in our training have been doing that very successfully. Lastly, third point on engage, less is more. Right. Remember I talked about questions. Here are 4 questions that I've asked in February. 913 comments, 412 comments, 501 comments, 468 comments by just short questions, by building a brand around asking questions, massive engagement. Look, there's a lot of backwards and forwards in these conversations, but perhaps 300 people commented on this top post here. Do you know what? If 300 people comment, at least 1,500 people saw that post and were reading it and engaged with it, right? And so that the ability, when you step back and say, let's not try and do everything. Let me be strategic. Let me ask questions. Let me do video. Let me get really high quality content that I know is engaging rather than lots of content that isn't engaging. You can really, really win big, right? And so typically, if we look at content strategy profiles, we have 3 different types of people, and everyone does a little differently here. But we have attention-seeking content creators who just want lots of attention. Then we have play it safers who talk mostly about their family, don't post very often. And then we have like business obsessed, people who talk about their business all the time. Which one are you guys? I'll just be curious. Put down, are you attention seeker, play it safer, business obsessed? Go. Let me know. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. What have we got here, Lanita?
Attention seeker.
Okay, anyone else? Play
it safer. Yeah.
Right? Anyone else?
I want them to laugh.
Is that attention seeker, do you think?
I think it is.
Engaged. Laughter is great though. No, it's not.
safe.
Brian says, no, actually it could be resonance, right? Play it safe. Right. Okay. So we don't want to be any one of these. We want to be this. We want a combination of posts that take people towards knowing more about us. The play it safe is those family posts, really important personal posts for helping people to trust us, to know that we're a real human being. It creates a lot of resonance. Attention's important. Can't engage me unless you get my attention. And we do want people to know about what we do, right? So that's really important. So the 6 posts a week strategy that we teach, I've got one thing blocked out there because it doesn't make so much sense today to share it with you, but we kind of go like this. 6 posts a week is all you need. Less is more. Less is more. So Monday, get attention. Wednesday, do some attraction. Thursday, a post that resonates with people. So you share your voice, your values, who you really are, Brian. Friday, a personal post about you as a human being that might ask a question as well. Saturday, a business post, but we want it to appeal to the heart of your business and who you really are. And then Sunday, can we include other people's voices in the expression of who we are? So maybe take 7 people who really engaged with you throughout the week and ask them a question. Hey, I'm interested to know what Brian, Portia, Sammy, Adele, Lanita, Julie, think about this. Let me know. So you need some of those posts because when people start to be involved in what you're doing, they start to take ownership. So that's less is more. And when it comes to engagement, I think a really good metaphor is if you're connected to 1,000 people in your community and your engagement is low, it's kind of like this. If you're not dating your partner, somebody else will. And so if they're not seeing you pop up regularly on their Facebook page, if they're not engaged in your content, then they're probably engaging in somebody else's. And they may choose that person when it comes to making a business decision. And so you really want to be the one that's engaging them regularly. And Chrissy, we worked with her a couple of years ago, did just an incredible job. She had a lot of challenges. And so sometimes people think my life challenges mean I can't do this. No, your life challenges are the reason that you should do this, because our work uses those challenges to connect you to other people, because they're very human challenges. And when you're raw, you're open, right? And so for her, she had health challenges, marriage breakup, single mom, did 13 transactions, worked with us in November, and then in January, end of January, sent me a note saying, hey, I did 13 transactions last year. I just did 7 in Virginia in the coldest month of the year. Go figure. Please, can I tell anybody about what you're doing? And so huge benefits for her, and she has continued to grow. So that's what's possible here. So again, engage, brand, strategy, content. Got to get less is more content, really high quality content, focuses on a medium that's really, really powerful. So let me know what are like 3 changes around content that you think you might need to make. And here are the options. So just put 1 in the chat box and then put your 3 down in the worksheet. You want to look for resonance and not attention so much. You want to post more strategically. You're going to choose a medium. You're going to post less. You want to have a goal of getting relationships offline. You're going to talk less business. You're going to stop posting links. You're going to be less afraid of sharing real life stuff. So I'm going to give you guys 20 seconds just to pop that down. And Lanita is going to call it out as she goes. Just going to turn my camera off for a second.
Obviously, I need more strategy, says Portia. Be consistent, post more strategically in resonance, not attention. Be less afraid to share real life. Post strategically, says Diane. Another, post strategically.
Interesting stuff, huh? Interesting. Okay, so we want to make changes in how we're using Facebook if we want to succeed. Really great. All right, keep your questions coming too. We'll get to them at the end. So we talked about attract, we talked about engage, and now what we want to do is we want to talk about inspiring people to refer us. And that's really where the money is for you guys. And 3 parts to inspiring people. Got to take the relationships off Facebook, bring them into real life, make it real. If you can scale it and get to many people all together, I know a bunch of you are really interested in this part. We're going to focus on it today. And that's great. And you want to have a partnership model. So you're creating more and more active referral partners after you meet up in real life. So again, we're going to use this worksheet, but let's talk about making it real really briefly and talk about the power of taking relationships off Facebook. Just share a quick story. And this is the story of Dana. We started working together a little over 11 months ago. She also was hitting a ceiling in her career of 16 transactions a year. Couldn't get past 16. Well, by the end of the year, through creating a really engaging presence that forced relationships to Messenger and to offline, she did 29 transactions. First time ever, 13 more than she'd ever done, all from Facebook in 2019. And she's done another 7 or 8, works a lot in new construction in that area. And she's netted like 120 grand on our work together. So really powerful stuff when you use Facebook to get simple and get the relationships going. If you're talking to people, you'll sell. If you're not, you won't. Talking about like the partnership model, a lot of you guys are pretty good at this. When you meet up with people, how do you inspire them to refer you? Laura is an example of someone who did a really great job. Now her challenge is introvert. Like she doesn't like the phone, doesn't like to cold call, will never door knock, but loves people, but loves small groups of people. So we use Facebook to create a referral-based, intimate, local brand in Sonoma County, based around helping people and promoting and creating partners with businesses, etc. Tripled her business, an introvert with Facebook. So it totally works when you know your communication style, know your brand, and work within your own realm. So scalability, we talked a bit about partnership. We We talked a bit about making it real. We've got a number of strategies to get relationships offline in a way that's easy. But 3 hot principles about events. Firstly, if you talk to the right people, you will sell and grow your business. Now, the word right person is really important. And what I want to talk about is who controls the intersection. Remember the intersection between single mom, not single mom, young mom and local business owner that we talked about? We'll look at that in a second. But the intersection is really important. If the traffic lights are down and you're sitting at an intersection, the person who gets to decide who does what, the person with the influence over the traffic, is this guy right here with the whistle. And you don't get to do anything unless he tells you. Well, that's a lot of control. I'm not talking about that same level of control, but I am talking about you when you're working relationally, especially if you want to scale, finding people who have huge influence over your intersections, over your market, right here. So who are the local business owners who are also young mums who are running Facebook groups for young mums who are running businesses? Who are the young moms who are on the boards of local business organizations? These relationships can have a massive effect on your business. Once we had a client who had one relationship with the head of the National Guard in Delaware. Every year he would get her in, because she owned that relationship, to talk to all the new recruits who were coming into Delaware about buying their first home. One relationship, dozens and dozens of transactions. That's what you want. And so when it comes to thinking about your conversations that you're having, remember, if you're talking to the right people, you'll sell. Let's look at this for an example. Obviously, if you talk to no people this year, you're going to get no referrals. If you just go away and quarantine yourself, bad example, but for 12 months, you're going to talk to nobody. If you talk to 600 people, roughly, depending on your market, but just using this as an example, you might get 12 transactions. If you talk to 1,200 people, conversations, you have control over it with our Facebook model, then you may do 24 transactions, right? That's good quality conversations, not just riff-raff, right? And so that's where you're at. But if you do something different, and if you talk to the right people, the people who have power over the intersections, then you can talk a lot less, do a lot less, and make a lot more money and have a lot more impact in the world. And so what you really want to do when you get specific about your intersections is think about who are the leaders there and do the right kind of talking. You're after mutual and equal relationships. You're going to help them as much as they help you. We say chef type people. You could cook in their kitchen. They could cook in yours. People who have influence over the intersection, just talk about that. This is where you'll get the fast referral growth, right? This is where your business will explode. Stop you moving one-to-one. If you've got time constraints, that's where you want to be. You be the person who is talking to everyone. So this is a choice you have to make. You can be the person who's talking to everyone, or you can be the person that everyone is talking about. And you want to be the second one to really scale. You want to be the person that everyone is talking about. Number 2 in scalability, use your voice to build authority. When you think of your favorite comedian, who's their competition? Think of Jerry Seinfeld or Chris Rock or someone like that. Really, they don't have any competition because there's only one Jerry Seinfeld. There's only one Chris Rock. And you know what? There's only one Maria. There's only one Diane. There's only one Brian. There's only one Joanne. There's only one Lanita, one Portia, one Julie. There's only one of you. And so we want to have a presence that builds authority with personality, because no one can compete against you when you own the relationships because of who you are as a human being. And so when you have the authority advantage, you lead your sphere, it extends your referral reach, it allows you to gather people, it scales conversations, they start marketing for you. Remember, 5,000 people out there, ultimate goal, big dream, but even 200 will make a big difference, telling everyone about how great you are. Active referral partners are walking human billboards. The more of them you create, the less marketing work you'll have to do. And so that's what we want. Now, the third point is to use Facebook events to scale. Now, how do you get heard in a crowd? Facebook, 2 billion accounts, lots of people using it, lots of noise. Imagine you're in just an everyday massive crowd and you want, like, you're right down the bottom and you want someone over there in the blue shirt at the top or the orange shirt at the top drinking from a can, you need him to hear you. Well, you could shout, but he most likely won't hear you if everyone else is shouting. So the way to get him to hear you is to go across and grab him and take him out of the crowd. And what you want to do with Facebook events is take relationships offline, ideal people, into an environment where you can hear each other. And that's what an event is for. And the last case study I want to share with you is one that never happened. And it's kind of sad because I had a real estate client, first realtor I ever worked with about 10 years ago. And she was older. She was in her like 60s, early 60s. And she really wanted to work with, because of her demographic, families that had kids who were like 8 to 12 or something like that, 8 to 15, right? Those were her kind of ideal clients. But she's like, how do I do it? Like, I can't hang around outside the schools. That's weird, right? And so what we created for her, which she never did, which is frustrating, is she had on her office wall, local office, incredible office, literally an art gallery wall. So we said to her, let's work with the schools to run an art competition for kids. We're going to give an incredible prize. She's a very successful realtor. We're going to give a trip to Hawaii for a family, for the kid that can do the most incredible drawing of their home, right? We're going to run it through all the schools. Once it runs through all the schools, we're going to choose the top 12. We're going to put them on your art gallery wall for a month. And we're going to get people in the community to come in and vote for their favorite drawing. What she's created now is an influx of people coming in. She's not even having to call them on the phone, coming into her office to vote for their favorite drawing, connecting with her, talking with her. It's a massive idea that will get her all the conversations she needs to grow a business for an entire year, grow a database. Everything can be done through this one event. And that's the power of events. Now, you can have conversations in large numbers all at once. You're talking to people that you like, who are good for your business. Events can be about stuff that you like cleaning up the beach. But you must build your audience and your authority first for them really to work. They can be single events or recurring events, which can be fun. You don't have to create the event. You can just invite everybody to the park for a musical show that's on. You want to mix up your clients and new people. So there's a lot of casual referral conversations going on. And you can use Facebook events to manage. All right. If the relationships are yours, they will always be yours. And that's what I want you to really focus on today. So with Inspire, we talked about making it real. We talked a little bit about partnership, and we really focused on scalability. You need all 9 of these elements in our model to make it work. On your worksheet, what are 3 things that you have to change right now when it comes to inspiring people? Here are some possible things to change. So just as we wrap up and I share a little bit more, why don't you let me know what are 3 things or 1 thing that you think you need to change when it comes to inspiring people? Do you need to get conversations offline more? Do you need to run events? Do you need to build authority? Do you need to do client parties differently? Are you feeling like I need to be way less transactional? I need to create events for my niche. I need to set a goal of running events. Maybe that's the first step. I need to stop using messenger bots if you've got too much automation. I need to focus on the right conversation. So let me know quickly. I'll give you 10 seconds. What's 1 thing that you're going to change here? Let's go. Lanita, what have we got coming in here?
Let's see. Joanna, get conversations offline. Jay, create events for my niche. Write conversations. Brian, goals for running events. Portia, set a goal for running events. Get conversations offline. For Debbie.
Right.
Michelle, focus on the right conversation. Create event for my niche. Get conversations offline.
Right.
There seems to be a trend.
Right. And there are lots of ways in which we can help you get the relationships offline. We don't have a time to go into it, but there are different ways you can do it, which are warm, which are quick, which are effective, like almost scripts that you can use. I will say, Portia, I saw you jump on there. If you're a coach and a trainer, which I know you are, an offline event, like a video conference, like I'm doing with you guys now, is kind of offline in a way, because you can hear my voice, you can see me, we're having a conversation. So it's like a soft offline grab. So that's one way to do it. You have so much goodness to teach and value to teach. You want to get really good at like building up a brand around those events, which I know you're doing. So that's absolutely one way. And of course, if you can get to meet people in real life, which I know you're into as well, that will be powerful. So shared the whole model here, focused on 3 things, which is really, really great to do. And I hope you guys have got some good value from that. Now, you remember at the start, I suggested that, that I would share my notes with you at the end and also let you know a bit more about how we could do more work together so you can really perfect the system. Before we work with anybody, there's really 2 questions that we ask everybody that I want to know about. These 2 questions. And so I want you to answer them right now in the chat. For the next 12 months, to be great for your business, what are 2 or 3 things that you think need to happen? Like, what do you need? Do you need, like, I need to make way more money. I need to have a better system. I need to use my time better. I need to stop working with people I don't like. What is it for you? Now, if you could just pop that in chat. Remember, we'll get your questions in a little bit. So what is it, do you think?
Time, focus, systems, and follow-up, time management, better system. I have a financial goal I want to meet. Need to grow clientele.
Right, right. These are real, real things. Keep them coming as your systems. Okay, good. All right, keep them coming there. I want you to be thinking about it, because when we know what we need, we can then figure out how to get it. Now, which 3 projects that we just talked about, and I'm talking about those 9 steps, would make the biggest difference for your business? Which 3 would help you get those things we just discussed? Is it you need to identify your ideal clients more, you need to find them, you need to welcome them in, you need to have a brand, you need better content, you need a strategy, you need to make it real, it needs to be scalable, you want to run events, partnership, what is it? So let me know which 3 things here would make the biggest difference for you to help you get to your goals. Okay. What do we get?
Strategy.
Strategy, really important, I think, especially if you have something to add. Find. You go.
Strategy, partnership.
Yeah.
Strategy is it, seriously.
Strategy, it's really important to know exactly what you're doing. And strategy almost encompasses the whole model. It's kind of an interesting thing. Anyone else? Which 3 will help you get to what you want? All right, strategy, strategy. Okay, all right. So let me ask you this question here. Do you believe the Facebook system we discussed today could help you get your goals? Help you get to them? Help you achieve more? Is it yes or no? It's really a simple question. Yes or no, I think it could help. Or no, it could. What do we got? Yes, yes, yes. You can, yes, absolutely. Yes, 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 yes. And actually, no was a fine answer too. Yes, yes. Okay, yes, yes. Okay, lots and lots of yeses. Not seeing any no's, but no would be fine. We shared a lot of case studies today. I think it was like 8 case studies, including Dana's, who made like 120K from our training, changed her life, was at a time where she's like, I don't know if I could invest in myself. I've never done it before. I've become like a single income earner in my family. But she felt like she should, and she's glad that she did. The one case study we didn't talk about was yours, obviously, because you're just on this call. And so I would love nothing more than the next time I do this training to tell your story and your success story, how you've got the things that you wanted out of using our system. Now, some of you might know, some of you might not know, but we run a case study program clearly from all the examples that I've used, where we have actually 75 people right now who are working through using Facebook step by step to build the brand and get the business that they want. And really the goal of it is pretty simple. We want to take it from all these colors and we want to turn it all green. And the best way to do that is to have a systematic approach, coaching, feedback, etc., to absolutely get you there. And the way that we do it is we have a curriculum based on each of those things, helping you identify who belongs in your brand, helping you find them, showing you how to do that really quickly, how to welcome people in. Christine has got this incredible welcoming strategy where she has like got so many conversations started from new people. It's been incredible. Have an engagement strategy where you actually know exactly who your brand is and how to take people from Facebook, engage them, warm them up, nurture them, get them offline, and make them into clients of yours. So really important. We have a massive database of content that we know works. We've tested it, that people get access to. And then you want to be able to inspire them, getting those relationships offline, creating accountability, helping you run events, scaling it, etc. So we really just follow what we've talked about in our case study. Now, it's really innovative and flexible training model, and I hope I don't confuse you today by explaining all of the innovative ways in which it can help you. Now, one of the things to be really aware of is you don't have to do all of it. You should choose the parts that best suit your personality. And I'll explain that a little bit as we go. As I said, 75 business owners currently doing it. And so when it comes to joining the case study program, I'm going to outline what it looks like for you, and then you can decide whether it's something you want to do. So the first thing is you get lifetime access to our online training. Now I'm just going to quickly jump across and share this with you. Please ask me any questions in the chat box as we go. My goal is that you would be clear. So we have an online training hub, which takes you through 9 modules that build out the system that we discuss. We're continuing to rework it and develop it. You'll see here we have an early win section where you can do things that get you business and get you moving really fast. Everything is designed here for every learning style. You can watch a video if you like to watch a video. If you're a reader, you can download the slides. If you want to chat to me, you can chat to me. And then we have our content gallery here where we know that every single one of these questions has got over 100 comments on somebody's page. So also accountability, it lets you know where you're up to. You can use this in your own time. You have it for life. As it gets updated and improved and we get new ideas coming in, you get in touch with that. So you get lifetime access to the system, work at your own time and your own speed, which I think is, helpful for pretty much anybody who has a busy life. So the value of that, realistically, there's some of the things you get, is around $2,000, $2,000 value. So just stay with me here. Now, the other thing we do is you get access to weekly group coaching for 12 months on our system, where we will be encouraging you, doing sprints during the actual training to get you doing things every week. So some people, like Kirstine with the baby with the heart problem, she's really never looked at the online training hub at all. She just gives an hour and a half of her week on Wednesdays to come to the training or catches it on replay, does that, and is net like 79 or 80K in referrals from coming to that part of the training. So that's been the way she uses it. Remember, it's flexible and innovative. You can do all of it. You can do some of it. You also get access to our content database. So we are continually adding to this. We do little experiments within the group, within the 75 people, to test out new content. But right now we have hundreds of pieces of content that we know have got huge engagement online. So you don't have to guess at what's engaging. You can use it, you can learn from it, you can develop your own content. Really important for us. And we think that's worth about $1,200 over a year if you were paying somebody each month to create content for you. And then every month, this is another really innovative feature, we'll do a 7-day sprint where we'll focus on one project. And we've had huge results from that. People getting 4 or 5 deals if they're in real estate or if they're in other businesses too. But a lot of people in real estate doing our training, they will get like huge amount of business from a 7-day sprint. And so we do one of those every month. So if your life is up and down, but hey, I've got a week spare, you can jump in and do a sprint and get huge value for that. We do one a month, you get free access to that. So, and all for our entire training, the value for it is really huge. And when you think about coaching, most people, or a lot of people, paying more for the entire year than $2,400. And for Dana, right, she's got 120K in 12 months return on her investment. Like that price would actually be pretty reasonable, because when you invest in any form of training, you really want a 10-fold return. That's really a good deal if you get that. But the great thing is we're going to give you all this, not at all for this. We have a really innovative model, so you don't have to pay that. In fact, right today, you can get it all for $1,597 if you want to become a case study. So super, super good deal, because someone spends $1,500 for an entire year of coaching, and they make an entire year of training and building a system that continues to generate referrals for them. They are making so much, such a great return on their investment. And just to be cute, hang on, it's my birthday week. I am turning 44 coming up. I don't even know the exact day because I'm not thinking about it. But what we'll also do is I'll take $100 off if you sign up today. So if you're like, I love this training, I think it can work for me, I'm a yes, then you should absolutely jump on and do that today. So there are just scrub this top one out here. There are different payment options as well. If you need a payment option and you want to go ahead and get started. Yeah, happy birthday, right? Yeah, people read all my questions. Okay, so I'm going to put the link here right in the chat box here. Now, if you think you are in, just pop down, hey, I'm in the chat box. That would be great. And we'll get you started. All right, so just pop that in there. So that's how the way that we can really help you in an ongoing way build out your system. Yeah, I'm in. Okay, cool. All right, so great, Joanne. I'm really looking forward to working with you. So the link is right there, and you should probably jump on it. And anybody else who's already in should jump on it, because what we're going to do, this is a Facebook group with the 75 members. The first 5 people that jump on this right now, I'm going to give you a free 90-minute session with me, a Zoom call where we will talk face-to-face on Zoom, going over your Facebook, thinking about your brand, looking for business we can get you really quick. And certainly people who have done really well have often taken this session and got a lot of momentum quickly. So absolutely jump on that link if you want to be one of the first 5. I know there's probably a couple left still, so you should do that quickly. Also, if you sign up today, just because it's my birthday and I'm generous, I'm going to give you a list of my 10 most engaging questions. Some of them you'll be like, I am not asking that question about that person. That's fine. You can choose ones that you really resonate with, but we'll give you those straight away for you to test out and get your engagement up, because there's a bunch of people who haven't heard from you in a while. We want to work Facebook's algorithm so you get all the business that you need. Okay. All right, question time. So Lanita, what questions do you have for us? Let's ask some questions. The link's still there. Jump on and sign up if you want to sign up. And we'll go from there. I see a few more people have jumped in. What time on Wednesdays? It is at 12 p.m. Pacific on Wednesdays, but it plays absolutely on replay into the group too. We're going to start another one on Thursdays as well, I think. So earlier on for West Coast people. What questions do you have for me? Guys, put your questions down below about the training or about the masterclass.
Okay. The average consumer knows 12 realtors. What do you do to overcome that so they refer you and not the other 11 they know?
Right. Very important. Well, competition exists, right? And so what we have to be is we have to be the one that they resonate with the most. So there's a couple of different parts to that. If you're the one they're seeing from all the time, that increases your ability to be the one they choose. If you're the one that's meeting up for them with coffee regularly, that increases the ability of you being the one that they choose. In an industry like real estate, and not to denigrate people in real estate, but most people are not using our system or our model. And so their Facebook presence, actually, and Lanita, you know this as a real estate professional, a lot of realtors, their Facebook presence is pretty unengaging. And so you immediately jump the queue by having an engaging presence that they're constantly contributing for, that expresses values that they connect with. Now, there will be people who don't belong and they'll use another realtor. That's fine, but there's enough for you if you build a strong, powerful presence, which is what Jay is finding in the area with 1 in 5. He's starting to really own the relationships and it's starting to pay off for him. Does that make sense?
That's great.
Okay. What other questions do we have?
All right. Do you feel a big difference between the way you treat your personal Facebook page and your business Facebook page?
Right. Great question. Firstly, yes, absolutely. In our model, the business page, if you have one, you don't need one. If you want to keep your life simple, you might not have it. But the business page should be like a billboard for your business. If you're doing a business, real estate, or a business page, you can do community pages. Laura did a community page. One of our case studies was hugely popular. It has like hundreds of people engaging really regularly. But if you have a page, if you have a business page, then it should be a billboard. You're probably going to have to invest money to get people to see the content, because that's how Facebook makes their money. So you want to use it more as a like, hey, here I am. And when people engage with the content, and you want to pull the relationship across to your personal profile when it's right.
Great. All right. Here's another. Can I pay for the training now and start in a month?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, if you want that free session and you pay for it now, you'll absolutely get it. So it's set up that you have it for life. You could pay for it now and use it in 3 months. I would say use it quickly because you want to build up momentum and build up your brand, because those 3 months is like costing you in time to get up momentum. But yeah, you can use it whenever you want.
Okay. Here's a question that I resonate with. Which part of the training do you get me, which part of the training will get me the best results? I'm an introvert.
Right. So that's a great question. So what we want to think about, firstly, you're going to get, as an introvert, I think asking questions is a really good way to start. Somebody on the call said, I don't like to talk about myself. Well, let's play to that strength a little bit. Yes, you're going to have to get uncomfortable because we want you to be an authority figure in the end and share your voice. But to start with, use your introversion as a skill. Like extroverts like me, we tend to talk too much, and introverts like you, Lanita, are sort of sitting on like gold, waiting for me to finish blubbering all this nonsense. And then you come up with this piece of like this gem. And so I would say use questions to start with. You're going to get, everyone who starts our training using our questions gets great engagement, like a massive increase in the engagement. In many cases, straight over 100 comments pretty much immediately, depending on how big your sphere of influence is. So start with the questions, and then we'll build a structure. Come to the group calls, we can get a bit more one-on-one attention, and we'll work on getting you the right structure that works for your introversion, if that makes sense. Joanna is all signed up. Great. Awesome. Some other people too. Portia as well. Awesome.
Excellent. You talk about strategies, and you mentioned that the business page is sort of a billboard. Well, will these strategies work on my business page as well?
Actually, the content strategy, the 6 posts a week, many people, we have someone who is in relationship coaching. She's used questions from our database on her relationship coaching page, like certain questions that fit, right? And they've got huge engagement from it. They've had to boost some of the posts, so it will transfer across. It's just fitting in the right structure and the right content for your business page, depending on what it is. But yes, it works similarly. Again, we believe the profile is where there's a lot of power, so you want to use it synergistically.
All right, here's another great question. Do you recommend that I still have Instagram?
Yes, if you want to. You don't have to. If you want to simplify your life, I have an Instagram, I have a Twitter account. I just let them go. I kind of play around on Twitter a little bit on Instagram, a bit naughty in those places. But for me, all my business comes from Facebook, right? And so we don't want to get so busy that we're in so many different places that we don't have focus. And so I want you to have absolute focus for what you're doing going forward. Really, really important. Portia is paid too, so that's great. Yes, Joanna, we will talk about that. Totally fine to do that. I'll set that up for you. So yeah, I say, well, what's the point of your Instagram? If it's relationally, the point is to meet people, then you want to like use it again as like a billboard and then drag the really deeper relationships across to your Facebook profile. But you could use our system on Instagram. We'll probably develop an Instagram generator at some point. Totally.
Great. Well, and this is relevant to the people who are on now. If team members want to sign up, is there a discount?
Right, absolutely. The first person will pay the discounted price today, the $14.97. The next person will take, for the rest of the team members, will take 25% off. So if you sign up and you say, look, I want to get 2 of my team members on, it's really great work for team members to do because you are working in a similar way. We have a couple of teams, a few members on a couple of teams already doing the training in, one is in Maryland and well, both of them are in Maryland actually. So both the teams, so it totally works for teams. Just let me know, make the first one, and then I'll send you a different payment gateway to get the other people on. That's great. All right, I think we should wrap it now. Thank you so much, everybody. If you were a yes, but you have questions for me, that's really possible. You're yes, you're like, I want to do it, but I got these questions I'm not sure about. What I want you to do is I want you to send me a text message to say, hey, I got questions, can we talk? So there's my number right there, 626-202-4802. So send me a text message. What that will do is it will lock in that discounted price for you if they've not been taken yet. And it will lock in all the bonuses. So go ahead and do that. Send me that text. We'll have a chat. If it's right for you, good. If it's not, great. If you've watched all this and you're like, I want you to help me, but I can't do it right now, or this is not for me, I'm sad about that, because I know through the experiences that we are helping people in all different stages of their business. But I wish you guys really well. I hope I've helped you a lot today, and I'll talk to you all really, really soon. Thanks so much, everybody, and have a good day.